All right, my friends, so for 8a, I would recommend you get started by just factoring the denominator. Boy, I cannot tell you how unfun these problems are if you start off by not factoring the denominator correctly. Anyway, so then from there, you'd set up the form. So arbitrary constant over x plus 2 plus an arbitrary constant over x plus 1. From there, switch modes to adding fractions together. Like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and distribute on the top. So I'd have ax plus a plus bx plus 2b. And then in the denominator, I'd have x plus 2 times x plus 1. Okay. At this point, we have won the denominator battle. And so now we can just focus on the numerator. So I'm going to take the numerator that we started out with, 18x plus 19, and set it equal to the numerator that I now have. Now, to save a step, I'm just going to group the x terms together and factor x out on the right side. So I'd have a plus b x's, and then I'm just going to group the constants a plus 2b together as well. That should make it really easy to figure out my system of equations. So in order for these equations to equal each other, the number of x's on each side has to equal each other. So 18 would have to equal a plus b, and 19 would have to equal a plus 2b. There we go. Now it's just a matter of solving your system of equations. Elimination, substitution, whatever works for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite of row 1. And then I'm going to add it to row 2. There we go. So we'd end up with 1 is equal to b. And then a quick back substitution, I would just visualize it honestly. If you put a 1 in right there for b, you could see that a would have to be 17. So there we go. Now it's just a matter of taking these values and back substituting into your form over here. And so your conclusion could be that 18x plus 19 over x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to, let's see, 17 over x plus 2 plus 1 over x plus 1. There we go. Now, if you need to hear about partial credit, here it is. Let's see, 1 point right here for getting the form. Let's see, 1 point for finding out that b equals 1. Or it didn't have to be b. If you called it a, that's okay too. So 1 point for getting 1 for one of the constants, and 1 point for getting 17 for the other constant. And then the last 2 points are for getting the final answer right here, where you have 17 over x plus 2 and positive 1 over x plus 1. There we go. And that's out of 5 points. Okay, now let's look at part B here. Part B, you have an improper fraction. And so with an improper fraction, you always want to start by using long division to get your improper fraction in mixed fraction form. Okay, so x squared times 2x to get started, and then don't forget to distribute fully. 2x cubed plus 6x plus 4x, and then subtract the whole row. What would that be? Negative 7x minus 3x, and then plus 5, and then minus 7. Oops, squared. Sorry, guys. There we go. 7x squared minus 21x minus 14, and then subtract the whole row. Looks like we get 18x, x plus 19. Sorry, that doesn't look very nice. 18x plus 19. Okay, so what do we now know? We now know that this fraction that we started out with, in mixed fraction form, it would equal 2x minus 7 plus 18x plus 19 over x squared plus 3x plus 2, like so. So now at this point, though, we haven't done any actual partial fraction decomposition, but it is kind of fun that this remainder that we have here matches the original problem that you had in part A. And so you could just steal from yourself. So your final answer would be 2x minus 7 plus, and then just use your partial fraction decomposition from part A. 17 over x plus 2 plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, if you need to hear about partial credit, here it is. So you get 2 points for considering, like showing that you knew that long division was part of your solution. Now, if you screwed up the long division, you still get the 2 points, okay? So 2 points for knowing long division was part of the solution. And then you get 1 point for the whole part, I suppose, of your answer. And then for the fraction remainder part, 2 points. There we go. All adding up to 5.